In this Grasshopper tutorial, I want to show you how you can make this infinite cube, which you can see I can change the radius and produce like that, and also the size, which I will explain, and produce the sections. Be sure to watch the video till the end because I will also explain how you can have those results, as you can see, those sections which can be used for the fabrication of this table. And you can see that the project infinite cube table and how it is made in this link, which I will put it in the website so you can check it out also. And what we want to do is to model this from scratch. So first of all, if you're new to our channel, welcome and consider subscribing because we have weekly tutorials, and also we have a course which you can enroll, which I will put up here, and you can check out our latest lessons and examples. Okay, let's get started by starting with a box. As you can see that you can also download this from our website from scratch. I want to make this box and bring this up. Okay, we can go to the params menu and bring this as a brep. Let's put the bifocals plugin so you can see here. Okay, and set this to the box. I'm going to hide that. Okay, because I want to show you the results for the infinite box, I'm going to move that a little bit forward. So let's just move this in the X direction and give this a number slider so we can see the results maybe here. Okay, and that's what we want to do. Okay, if you look at the infinite box here, let's just zoom in like this one. That's fine. We can do this by connecting the faces of the box. What I want to use a technique here is to give it a fillet or a chamfer right up here. So we have two sections. One is like this part, which will just get rid of that from the box, and another one, let's see that from blue, is this one, which will go back here, and it's like this, right? So if you just get rid of these two edges, two set of edges, we will have a connection of all of that, because when you delete these three edges, the connection is still here, right, to this face. And it's just easily done with these two techniques we're going to use here. Okay, so I'm going to go to the surface and use this here, fillet edge. The shape we want to do is like this one. Let's just turn this off. The most important is that the edges in the indexes we want to fillet. So to find that, we're going to go to the deconstruct brep and connect that to the solid. We have these edges. We want the number of these edges. So I'm going to go to the curve and select this point on curve tool and go to the display and select this point list and bake that. And now I have the number of those edges we want to get rid of. It's 162. Okay, here we go, 162. I'm going to go to this edges, set multiple integers, and get rid of that. 1, 2, 6, and at the back is perhaps 10, 8. Sorry, if it's 1, 2, 6 here, we want to 8, 10, 7, right? 8, 10, 7. So we have them. I'm going to delete these just because we wanted those indexes. And now we have to give this a radius. So let's just get started. I don't know the numbers here, but let's just start with 2.5, and you can see that this is giving us good results. Okay, here we go. First of all, for the blend, if you click on that, we need a chamfer. You're going to go to the chamfer section. We need this one. And for the edges metric, I'm going to use the rail distance. That means the distance from the edge. That's going to be better for the metric, but you can check that out later. Okay, so you can see that 0 is going to give that from the edge, and that's the distance from the edges. Now what we want to do is to just find those connecting lines. So this is the base of the technique we want to use. Now we want to go to the surface and select this VREP edges, and let's just turn this off. You can see that we have all of the edges because of those connection. If I go to the blend and put that to the fillet, some of them are curved, right? If I connect params and select a line here, either it's naked or it's interior, that's it. You can see it's going to get rid of those curves. So we have only lines here, and just turn this off, and you can see how easily done. It's just connecting all of those lines. So remember, you can put that also to chamfer, but it's going to give you those edges. So put it into fillet, so you will not have those curves here. Okay, just another one. You can see that those curves, we get rid of them by connecting a line to this. That's how we can do that. Okay, now we have to simply just connect that. I'm going to go to the curve and connect, join those curves, and we have the results. That's it. Bake that. You can see it's a single polyline, and it's beautifully done, and we have the results. So that's really easy to use those fillet and extract the lines to get the results. Remember that, and you can just play with this distance thing here. Okay. The next part is to give this a little bit of a depth by giving it a section. The problem with sweep, if I want to go to the surface freeform sweep 1, if I give this a pipe, that's a really easy one, and give this a radius, you can see that this is going to give you a complete pipe thing result. That's really easy, and if I bake that, you can see that we have all of those sections done perfectly. If you want a pipe, just to make that happen, you can simply just deconstruct the BREP and finally cap that holes, because we have some holes, and bake that. That's going to give you the final results for any of those sections. You can see that this is the solids we want to have, and you can just cut off a pipe and connect that or weld it to produce the table or the infinite cube. And the next part is to make this with a box section. Okay, maybe you want to use wood so you don't have pipes. Remember that you can also use this pipe. I'm going to put it up here and disable this, so if you want to enable it, you just click on this and enable. Okay, the next part is to give it with a sweep. The problem with sweep 1, which uses a rail and a section, is that if I produce a section on this, let's just do that by going to the curve, analyzes, and using this perpendicular frame to make a frame on the curve. I'm going to give that to the curve. Remember to reparameterize it, because it's going to make it from 0 to 1, and let's just give a number between 0 and 1 to make a perpendicular frame from 0 start till the end, which is like that. Okay, so if I just put it like here and give it a section, I'm going to go to the curve primitive and use the rectangle. That is the plane we want to put the section, and the x size and the y size is dimension. Here you can see it's a domain. So what we want to do is to go to the mathematics and use this construct domain. I'm going to use both of that for the x and the y size, because I want it to be a square. And remember, because this is a domain, we want to make that from minus, let me just type this here, minus x divided by 2 to x divided by 2. So if I give this a number slider, perhaps 10, it's going to be from minus 5 to plus 5, which means that it's going to give us a 10. So let's just go from expression minus x divided by 2 to x divided by 2, and give this a number. Here we go, and we can give that to the section. And the problem here is that you can see that the sweep doesn't give you the results. So I want to give you a trick how you can make that if you don't get the results in Grasshopper. By installing the mesh plugin, which is, I think it's Mesh Tools, if I'm correct. In the primitive, there is a tool which is called Mesh Sweep. Okay, so the Mesh Sweep is going to give you great results. That's really cool. And if I give the rail curve this one and the section curve this one, get rid of that, you can see that this is completely what we want, but it's a mesh, which I will explain how to produce those sections in it. So we can give that accuracy. You can see it here, and the rectangle is completely controlling the results. So we can just increase that, give it like this. So that's exactly what we wanted. And now what we want to do is to produce those sections. So when you install that plugin, you have this mesh explode thing here, which is in the analyze section of the mesh. And now we can explode that mesh into the faces. 72 faces, you can see that it's going to give you those faces. And now I want to just connect those to a part of that. So first, let's just make that mesh into a brep because we want those in Rhino. So I'm going to go to the mesh, and here we have this deconstruct mesh. Each of them has 4 vertices. We have to just simply go to the sets and select the list item, zoom in and put that plus. We have 4 of those vertices, and now we can just go to the surface and select the 4-point surface tool. Okay, just turn everything off. And now you can see that it's going to give you complete results, but in brep instead of mesh. So that's exactly what we want. But remember, we want to connect these parts together. So I want to force 4 sections of those to connect together. What I want to do is to first of all flatten this, because each of those surfaces are in a group. We don't need that. We need 72 faces in just one group. I'm going to flatten this, and if you don't know about flatten, you can watch our tutorial which is related to flatten and graft. So you can see that we have 72 untrimmed surfaces here. Just check this out. If I go to the sets and select the list item, the first one is like this, the second one is going to be here, the third one is on the bottom, and the last one is on the border. So we just need 4 of all of these faces connected together. What we can use, we have also talked about this in our course completely, but let's just make it easy. Use a partition list, which means that we want to divide all of those data 72 faces into groups of 4, right? So we just connect that 4 to the size, and now you can see that we have, let's just zoom in, we have groups of 4, which we can finally go to the surface and use this brep join to join them together. So that's it. And at the end, we're going to use the cap holes to use that, because when we join them, we have something like that, which is open, and we can just put that to cap holes. That's it. And this is how you can also make that with wood if you want to. So that is really cool. You can see that those sections, orient that on the surface and find the cutting edges, because if I want to make that tutorial, it's going to take a while, and maybe in the future I will add that to the course. So remember that this is how you can make those sections, and how you can make this from a box or from a pipe. Remember, you can also use that pipe technique, and we can increase or decrease the size of that box and the edges also. Let's just get here. That's beautiful. You can use that infinity box for fabrication. And thanks for watching. I hope that's useful for you, and you can make that, fabricate that in your shop and produce it. Send me your pictures if you have any, and that's really cool. You can have those sections. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and like this video and comment below what do you think about this. Was it helpful? See you next time.